Fuck it. I was trying to delete shit off my fucking phone because only got so much space, but I barely got any sunlight anyway. I guess I probably won't go over how much sunlight I have with time. Anyway, I just want to explain a couple things about Bitcoin, gold. My phone is such a piece of shit, bro. I swear to God, I was trying to tweet a couple minutes ago and it's just like it wouldn't send. I'm like, dude, what the hell? But I don't know, that just pissed me off. So now I just want to like talk about it on video. The thing about Bitcoin and gold, okay, I think Bitcoin came about because, Satoshi, whatever his name is, the guy who invented it, anonymous dude. I think he saw the problem with fractional reserve banking and money creation, fiat money creation. And he saw that, that causes, inflation and deflation, the business cycle, turbulence in the economy. So Bitcoin was like a solution to create a sort of sound money. The thing is with Bitcoin, actually, I'm not even going to go into details. Gold, okay, is traditional money. Fucking dog, shut the fuck up. Motherfucker. Really, I've been sitting here for fucking 30 minutes and there's been no dog. All of a sudden when I start fucking talking, and here comes the dog. Hold on. I don't know what the fuck the dog is. I don't even care. Gold, traditionally money, okay? Fiat kind of started being paper notes that kind of represented gold that was put into storage in a bank. They're called banknotes. That's the first paper money, and they represented values of gold, amounts of gold, and people started trading with those as receipts. Knowing that they could go to the bank and get them redeemed. Then fractional reserve came about because people started trading with the receipts, leaving the gold at the banks, and the banks could then loan out gold first of all, but second they could just create more receipts to loan out, and because everybody was trading with receipts, and that was the first paper money. So anyway, gold is actually what kind of led to fractional reserve banking, which led to fiat, which led to money creation that causes turbulence in the economy. And then Bitcoin was supposed to be a solution for that. Now, I keep seeing these arguments on Twitter. I just saw Peter Schiff talking to, or Mark Cuban kind of addressed what Peter Schiff's always talking about, how Bitcoin's a bubble. And then, Mark Cuban was kind of saying that gold's kind of obsolete. It's like, well, first of all, gold is just a thing. It's like culturally known to have value. I think that's going to stick around for a while. Kind of like silver, platinum. And they do have some industrial use. I don't think that's like their main, value. I think it's really a cultural thing. And it has to do with supply and demand. Really the problem with Bitcoin and gold being used as money right now is, I will say that the market on both of them are cornered. And because they're cornered, if either of them gets adopted as money with a low supply available to be used for trading, then that'll make the value of those things skyrocket relative to goods and services. So basically, like right now, money's being valued, or I guess gold and Bitcoin are being valued relative to dollars because people are buying those with dollars. You can value them relative to anything, and that's how the whole economy works. Really, it's like relative values in the whole economy. But right now, people typically in America look at the value of Bitcoin or gold relative to dollars, and we call that the price. But it's really just, fiat money is one type of, it's a type of good, really. Like a lot of people don't think of it like that, but yeah, I call it an intermediary good, used for trading. Gold used to be that, now people call that an asset, but I mean, it's another good, and so is Bitcoin. It's just these things, I guess you call them assets that people are willing to trade with. But value of Bitcoin, value of gold, right now is they use a dollar to trying to figure out where I was. I just lost myself in my own train of thought. Hold on. Oh yeah, that was the whole point of this video. Anyway, the whole point of the video was the market is cornered on both Bitcoin and gold, pretty much. And if either of those start to get used as money, that means people will be directly trading the Bitcoin, which they already are, for goods and services, or gold for goods and services. And that'll cause the value to go up relative to goods and services, not relative to a dollar. And valuations will go up relative to what people are willing to trade in goods and services. And that, with a wide scale economy, man, I've made entire videos on this. I don't feel like explaining the whole concept, but there's deals can be different. You know what I mean? So it's like one guy might sell a Lamborghini for 10 Bitcoin, 100 Bitcoin. I don't know. Another guy might sell his for 50. You know what I mean? But it's the same Lamborghini. And I mean, that's just relative to the deals that people are willing to make. And I mean, that's really how the economy works. But we usually have, with supply and demand, there's usually a lot of the same things. And then we get a general value of goods and services relative to like the dollar. The dollar has a lot of people that use it. So it's like this big circle of people that are trading for goods and services. So you get like a bigger sample size, which averages out, and there's a lot more competition as well. So it depends. Damn, why these concepts are not easy to explain. That's why they haven't been explained yet. That's why people have been talking about everything but not hitting the point. The point is not easy to explain. I'm telling you, it's not. It's a challenge, but it's something I've understood. Like, let me just try to continue. Corner market gold, corner market Bitcoin. If that shit starts to get used as money with a small supply available, then the value will go up relative to goods and services. So it'll have a value not relative to dollars necessarily, but you can actually look like, let's say, like what somebody's willing to trade for Bitcoin. You can look at how, like, what the going price in dollars would be relative to that. So then it would, like, by default have like a relative value to the dollar. Even if people aren't directly trading Bitcoin or gold for dollars, you can still see a certain value, which is kind of determined in trade. You know what I mean? And but yeah, if that happens, if either of those get adopted as money, the value is going to start going up based on the growing user base that wants to use it as money, and then the competition for that money, by offering goods and services, more and more goods and services, which is going to create an increase in valuation. So the point is, the market's already cornered on those. If they start to get used as money, the value is going to start going up relative to goods and services, and that will allow people who have cornered the market at some point later on, when the values are like super high, they can just take little pieces of the whole money supply that they basically cornered and buy goods and services. And really they could probably buy a lot depending on how cornered the market is versus how much the value goes up, how much demand for that money there is, and how much people are offering for that money in trade. And the more cornered the market is, the lower the available supply, versus the amount of people that are trying to use it as money, is going to cause the value to go up like crazy, like relative to goods and services. And then once that value is crazy high, people that have already cornered the market, they can buy so much goods and services. They can buy so much resource with it. And that's basically just a way to, though at the end of the day, they'll be like siphoning off resource from the economy by cornering the market on the money supply that goes up in value, and then they use to buy resource when they did like absolutely no work. All they did was, they could have created the money supply, but really they could have just cornered it. And if they cornered it when it was a low value because it wasn't being used as money, and then later on it becomes money, it starts to get used as money, it's like these people are going to be able to buy literally like half the world. You know what I mean? Like, depending on how many people use that as money and like what the going rate for that money is relative to goods and services, if they cornered the supply, and it's like it's this commodity that it's money that people use and for trade, and like everybody uses it. The bigger the circle, and like the lower the supply of the money, the higher the value is going to go. So if there's a big old circle of people trying to use it for money, and there's only so much of it, then the people that corner the market are going to be able to trade what they have, which is a lot of that money, stashed away somewhere for like crazy, crazy amounts of goods and services, resource. And it's literally like it's like a scam. It's like a scam. That's a problem. That's a major problem with gold and Bitcoin. Both of them have a cornered supply, basically. And yeah, to the people who cornered the supply, okay, of course it's gonna look like it's a good investment to investors. It's gonna be like, wow, that's a great investment. You bought the money supply before it was valuable, before it was actually used as money. And yeah, it looks like a great fucking idea. But the fact is, like some little small time investors might be like get a little bit of a win off of it here or there. And I know a lot of people are probably like, oh yeah, I'm gonna fucking do that. That's a great fucking idea. But the fucking whales, as they call them, they got the whole fucking thing, dude. And like they will literally like fucking be able to buy everything on planet Earth, dude. They're gonna be fucking the rulers of the planet. But that's the thing. I mean, like capitalistically speaking, they could probably buy a whole lot of fucking shit and be like it's just cornering the money supply before it goes up in value. And then then just holding on to it, leaving a little bit of a supply available while people start to use it. It's gonna be fucking insane. But the thing is, the whole thing that I want to get to here, there needs to be competing currencies. There needs to be competing currencies. The reason fiat money sucks is because they're basically money monopolies in certain regions, countries, whatever, geographical regions. And they're fucking managed like shit, people they just fucking create the money and the supply keeps going up, so it's just fluctuating value. It's stupid as hell. Bitcoin does not have a fluctuating value in total coins. It has a limited supply that it's ever going to mine, but it can have a fluctuating, did I say value? I meant supply. But it can have a fluctuating supply, determined by how much is available for trade. People, the market's already cornered, like I said. Those motherfuckers could just hold on to it. Other people can hold on to it. They can still do that with fiat as well. But the money supply of fiat really isn't cornered right now. Like, who's the richest person on earth? And then really, actually, some of those people who are considered the richest people on earth aren't rich in any given currency. A lot of them hold on to equity in various companies. Like right now, I think Elon Musk is the richest guy. He's considered rich because he owns stock shares of his own company that has a high valuation. But it's not dollars. Nobody has really cornered any specific currency that's currently being used. You know what I mean? But right now, Bitcoin, pretty fucking cornered. Gold, pretty fucking cornered. And if it goes up, like I said, they can just hold on to it and leave a little bit of a supply available for people to use for money as money. And people can, but like with Bitcoin, it's super fungible. It's fungible, the right word? Like super incremental. Like you can break it down to super small increments. I think that's fungible. That's what it means, right? And so yeah, people could use a very small portion of the total Bitcoin supply as money, while the fucking whales hold on to it. And when fucking a shitload of people are willing to trade their goods and services for that Bitcoin, that money, then those fucking whales can just trade a little bit here, a little bit there, while it has a fucking crazy high value. You know what I mean? And they own the whole fucking supply, and they can fucking buy anything. They can buy everything. They buy half the fucking world. It's a fucking liability. This is what I'm trying to tell y'all. And it's the same thing with gold. Gold's fucking I think that's been fucking cornered by the fucking Queen of England and shit. That fucking and some of those motherfuckers, really. I don't fucking know, but it seems like it's cornered. That's a supply and demand function. So yeah, while the total amount of Bitcoin it's not gonna be inflated. The supply available can be artificially affected. The market can be cornered. I heard they did the same thing with diamonds. Like diamonds have a high value right now because the market's artificially cornered, and so they just fucking leak a little bit of a supply so people will with whatever demand there is for diamonds. They also market that shit, by the way. And that's relevant to Bitcoin as well. But they fucking, get the values going high by leaving a little bit of a supply, and then they just trickle it in a little bit at a time, and they make a killing off it. It's the same fucking thing, except with money, the demand will go crazy, especially if all the other money's trash, and all that's left is Bitcoin or gold, and that's just gonna be fucking. And if the depending on the supply available versus how many people are gonna use it, and that's what I'm saying. If all the other money's trash, it's gonna be a shit ton of fucking people trying to use it as money. With a little bit of available supply, the value's gonna go insane. Literally, I think like I don't even know how you could fucking do the math, but like if you own like 50% or more, and then 50% was used for transactions, you could literally at any given point, I guess, buy with that amount of money. You own the other half of the money supply, and 50% is how much is being used for transactions. You could literally buy everything that was transacted with the other half. You know what I mean? Like, that's insane. If you like, I mean, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, little by little, I could see that happening. Like, if you just dumped it all at the same time, I'd be like, holy shit. Actually, inflation takes a while. It's a supply and demand function. So, like, maybe you buy something from somebody, and then they take that money and buy something from somebody else, and all the while there's competition, and you're making a higher offer of more money for any given good or service, and then eventually with those higher offers that you give, higher bids, prices go up. And that's really how inflation works. It's like it's a slow process. It's not just like, oh, money's here, boom, all of a sudden all the prices are higher. No, it's competition and bidding up prices slowly as the money trickles in to circulation. Anyway, my point is having a fucking monopolize. Well, just really, like, that's why I say it has to be competing currencies. Because if there's just one fucking currency for the whole fucking world, Bitcoin or something, that's fucking dangerous. I don't even know if anybody's following me. I feel like I'm talking to nobody. I feel like people are just like maybe like hearing me. They're probably thinking, who is this random guy? I'm just a fucking dude who knows shit, okay? I know shit. I've studied shit. I fucking take time to learn this shit. It's not hard. Well, actually, it kind of was hard to figure a lot of it out, but